Hello, and welcome to Hotel Nerd. My name's Chris, and this is an episode of Let's Talk. Uh, as I said before, with my show Scared Shitless, we are um, getting things back on track on recording. So this is another step in the process, and I'm being joined today by. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the name right, Varun. So I'm going to bring him in. Hello.
Well, hello everyone.
Am
Well,
I
hello
pronouncing your
everyone.
name? Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Well, you can refer me as Sam, S-A-M. It will be easy for you.
All right. Uh, so today's topic was actually brought up by you while I was talking on John Campia's Twitter account, talking
Yes.
about Comic Con and some of the,
Mhm.
I feel, slightly controversial things that he was saying, like nothing big came out of Comic Con on the Marvel front. And then I made my response, and then you responded with, well, do we feel like Disney's putting too much in one basket with it coming to Marvel? And I felt like that would be a really interesting premise to have in a conversation today. So, uh, I'll let you take the lead here real quick because it was your topic that you had brought up to me. So,
Mhm.
uh, tell me why you feel like this is happening. That you feel like Disney's putting too much into one basket here. Looks like we might be having a technical issue here. Oh, there we go.
Uh, yes. Well, because of two reasons. First reason being Disney's Lightyear not getting a theatrical release. Like for last, no, sorry, Disney's Turning Red and Luca not getting a theatrical release. And like most of the Disney films are getting Disney Plus release. Like even Pinocchio is a straight Disney Plus OTT release. And even I believe Peter Pan and the Wendy is a OTT release. I believe Disney is focusing more on MCU lately. Like I think we are getting some like 3 4 MCU movies per year. Like into like we are getting and most like even most of the we are getting so many MCU web series on Disney Plus. Like we got Loki, we got Wonder Vision, we got Hawkeye, like on and on. We are getting so many MCU projects, and Disney is not giving so much attention to Pixar. I believe Pixar is maybe the best animated studio, and it may also be the best studio overall. If you look at their films, their level of excellence exceeds everyone else. Like I really enjoyed Luca. I loved Turning Red. I just adored that film. And I again just really liked Lightyear. It is not the best Toy Story film, but it is a good film. The film was a box office flop. It is another thing. But still I believe Disney is giving too much attention to the MCU lately. Like just look at the MCU movies. You have got so many MCU movies coming up, and we have got just one Pixar film in the next year. And like even Pinocchio is a very, Pinocchio is a very famous character. Pinocchio is an iconic character. Pinocchio is a character that we all grew up while watching. I can watch the original Pinocchio so many times. And why Pinocchio is not getting a theatrical release? Why Peter Pan is not getting a theatrical release? Why not any MCU film is not getting a direct OTT release?
Well,
What do you
I mean,
think?
I think the reason that you're seeing the MCU get into theatrical treatment and a lot of other things getting pushed off to the side with Disney Plus is um, they're the tent poles of Disney right now. They're the money makers, and again, that leads to the issue. We're throwing all our eggs in one basket, and then you can only sustain for so long, and Marvel Phase 4 has kind of faltered a little bit, in my opinion. I like Phase 4. I like what they're
I
doing.
think even
I like how they're
well, I
setting the
have
multiverse up, but
yes, you
it's
continue, please.
it 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 feels a little flat. and I think part of that problem is, and I'm just speaking for myself here, is you're missing Steve Rogers, you're missing Tony Stark, you're missing Bruce Banner for the most part. I mean, he's coming back for She-Hulk, but I mean, you're missing a lot of Black Widow's dead. Hawkeye is, I guess, going deaf. It's so your original Avengers, and I know we got to move on from them, and I get that, but I think that's the reason why it's kind of faltering a little bit. We're rebuilding, recalibrating the new Avengers team. Is what we're doing. Yeah, even Wong kind of fits the Nick Fury role right now. So because Wong's in everything.
Well, first thing, I agree with you. MCU is a moneymaker, but so is Pixar films. So is Disney original remake. Like, look at The Lion King. The Lion King made what, $1.6 billion? Aladdin made $1 billion.
But
Like,
look at the
even
name
I
that was
believe,
attached. Look at the name that was attached to it as a director, though. It's Jon Favreau. He's recognized as being the person that launched the MCU.
okay, but listen, like, but what about Beauty and the Beast? It made $1.2 billion, if I'm not wrong. What about Cinderella? Like, these films are success. Like, look at most of the Pixar film. All, like, every Pixar film has made Disney a nice amount of money. Like, even according to the report, Turning Red made huge number of subscribers for Disney Plus. If you remember, Soul and Wonder Woman 84 opened on the same day in their respective OTT platform. According to the reports, Soul made more amount of subscribers than Wonder Woman 84. And obviously, like, I'm very happy with MCU Phase 4. I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. I really, really enjoyed Spider. I really, really liked Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Actually, I like the Multiverse of Madness than what more other people do. Like, I thought Multiverse Doctor Strange 2 was really, really good. I really had a nice time with Love and Thunder. Obviously, I think it is not nowhere near, Thor Ragnarok, but still, Love and Thunder was a good film. Doctor Strange 2 was a good film. The only MCU film in the Phase 4 that I hated was Eternals. I hated that film. Like,
Yeah,
obviously, it
Eternals was
had,
pretty weak.
yes, like, it had this good moment, but it's in my top, it's in my bottom five MCU films. Probably it's my least favorite MCU film. And talking about MCU, like web series, we have got WandaVision, we have got Soldier, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we have got Loki, we have got What If, we have got Hawkeye, we have got Moon Knight, and we have got Miss Marvel. We have got 7 web series in the span of some like 2-3 years.
Mhm.
I really think like, and we have got so many MCU films. Like in Phase 4, I don't know how many MCU films we have got. I think we have got Black Widow, we have got Shang-Chi, we have got Eternals, we have got No Way Home, we have got Doctor Strange, we have got Love and Thunder. You have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever coming later in the year. Actually, it is on my birthday.
I'm looking up see how many Phase 4 films we actually have here real quick. Phase 4. Give me 1 second here.
Hmm.
We have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther. Your series that we've had is WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, which is coming.
Well,
So the
so you can
last
see in the
remaining things out of Phase 4 that we have is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
well, so you can see we have got so many MCU projects in the span of just like 2-3 years, and that's a lot of quantity. Like
Yeah.
obviously there have been really some good project in No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, Shang-Chi, and there have been few weaker ones in just say Eternals. And even Black Widow was good, but it wasn't on the same league with top 5 or even top 8 MCU films. So, according to these figures, we can really say that Disney is focusing too much on MCU. We can really say that Disney is relying too much on MCU. Now, the next thing is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because remember, Disney is a very big company. They have so many IPs, they have so many recognizable characters. I think they should again work like why why don't work on Star Wars? Why don't work on Pixar?
This here's the list of all your phase fives that you got coming too. Just to solidify your point a little bit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12 properties coming out in a span of like a year and a half for phase five.
Just like just have a look at this. You have Ant-Man, you have Ant-Man 2. Can you again can I want to have a look at the list again? You have Ant-Man, you have Guardians
Yeah.
of the Galaxy Volume 2, you have Secret Invasion, you have Echo, you have Mist, you have The Marvels, you have Loki Season 2, you have Blade, you have Ironheart, you have Agatha, you you have all these IPs or properties in just 1 year, in just 2023. You have maybe some like 3, 6, 7, you have 9 MCU projects in a single year. Now, and how many months we have in a year? We have 12 months, and in 12 months, we have 9 MCU projects. Now, you tell me, isn't that too much of a quantity? You tell me, we have so many things in just one single year, and we have just one Pixar project in 2023. We have up to this point, we have only one Star Wars movie in 2023. You obviously there are going to be I think one or two more Star Wars series in 2022 on Disney Plus. You tell me, don't you think Disney is focusing too much on Marvel? What do you think? I'm giving the floor.
Man, I'm kind of leaning in your camp about that because it feels like we're getting quantity over quality at this point. Like I think the ones that I think these are the ones that I'm most looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Just because
Same.
I love the
I'm
first
looking for that.
one. The second one was okay. It is what it is. Volume 3's got me really, really hyped. Loki season 2, yeah, because I loved the first season. And I'm really interested in Captain America New World Order.
Even I am. I loved
Now,
the first two.
the one that scares me the most is Blade. Blade kind of scares me a little bit. I think it's gonna work. I really do. Mahershala Ali, if I'm on hope to God I'm pronouncing the name right. He's a great actor. But let's be honest, Blade 1 and 2 were absolutely stellar. Especially Blade 2. Blade 2 is by far my favorite Blade movie. That's a really tall order for that movie to have to pull off. So, I mean, Secret Invasion, I can kind of, I'm not really interested in. The Marvels, I'm not really interested in. Daredevil Born Again, I'm interested to see how they do that. But, again, to your point, we're getting so much. And,
That's what I
in phase 4, we got so much, and it felt like the quality went down while the quantity went up.
I would like to say one thing. Phase 4 is the most divisive phase in MCU up to this point. There have been a lot of people who are critical of Phase 4, including a lot of my friends.
Well, yeah,
Phase 4 has been very.
one, it was the Infinity War culminated in phase 3. And then now we're getting into the multiverse saga, I think is what they're calling this one. Because Endgame encapsulated phases 1 through 3. Now, the multiverse saga is going to basically capsulize phases 1 to 6. Now, if we really want to get adventurous with this and see how froggy we can get with it, you can easily pull people all the way back to Howard the Duck. Like, the multiverse opens everything. Everybody, as long as they have the rights, Disney has the rights to use the characters, everybody's fair game. Every character, every actor, everybody's fair game as long as everybody signs up for it. And that, honestly, is what keeps me interested in the multiverse saga. Is because you can get anybody at any point in any time.
But my main point is, do you think Disney is focusing on MCU too much? Like, obviously, Kevin Feige is going to handle everything very well. I know, you know. Kevin Feige is just going to blast us with Avengers Secret, Avengers Secret War. Is it right? Is it the right name?
Are you talking about the culmination of Phase 6? The Kang Dynasty?
No, like I'm talking about the coming Avengers film. What was the name of the two films?
Secret Invasion was coming out this next phase.
No, I'm talking about the upcoming Avengers film.
Oh, yeah, that's Secret Wars. It's a 2-part culmination. It's the Kang Dynasty, and then it's Secret Wars.
As I was saying, Kevin Feige is going to blast us with King Dynasty and the next film. But my main question is, do you think Disney is focusing on MCU too much? Because now there is a feeling of fatigue of comic book movies among few people, and I think this is going to increase. I think this is the time when they should turn their attention back to just say their iconic beloved characters, or just say Star Wars or Indiana Jones or any Pixar property. Because remember, Kevin Feige was inspired by a Star Wars film, the original series of Star Wars. That's why he's so interested in doing a Star Wars film. Why don't focus on Pixar? Like, Pixar properties are so loved. I love Pixar films. I can watch Toy Story 3 over and over again. I can watch Inside Out, my all-time favorite Pixar film. I can watch, like, I think you have got me. Why don't focus on Pixar? Why don't focus on their original characters? And why don't make a new IP? Like, why don't make a new franchise like Pirates of the Caribbean or just say National Treasure? Like, remember, Pirates of the Caribbean are a huge financial hit. Like, even the last film, that man Tell Snowtail made $700 million. The reason the films, like, the reason why box office goes down was because after the first two films, the next two films were really bad. Like, I love the original Pirates of the Caribbean film. Kinda like the second one, third and fourth one were okay. Hated the fifth one.
Yeah.
My question is,
the reason that I think you see less Pixar than you do MCU right now is, while yes, there's a lot of CGI in Marvel films, and as we keep going, there's going to be a lot more as we keep going. Doctor
there's a lot of CGI in Star Wars.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange is a perfect example of the CGI being used at a heavy extent. And I mean, Star Wars is just crazy. Anyways,
You love Star Wars, Henna? You love Star Wars.
Yeah, I do. But
we all love Star Wars. I grew up while watching the original films. They are everything to me. Luke Skywalker is probably my all-time favorite movie character. Darth Vader is my all-time favorite villain in movies. The first, actually, my all-time favorite film of all time is Star Wars: A New Hope. That is like all-time greatest film to me. I love it more than Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
My favorite Star Wars film, I'd say, is probably Rogue One. Honestly,
really,
Rogue One was. I love Rogue One for the fact that it literally is like 5 minutes before the start of A New Hope. When I watch Rogue One, I watch Rogue One and A New Hope together. It's all I make
Oh,
it
nice.
one movie.
Oh, wow.
So
Actually, no. I liked Force Awakens. I liked Rogue One. I really liked Last Jedi. Solo was Solo was a nice film, and I just hated Rise of Skywalker. Like that is like my top five worst experience in cinema.
Last Jedi, I liked for the fact that they swung for the fences and tried something different.
Like I believe Ryan Johnson was
They,
very good
they
in
took
that
your
film. Ryan
expectations
Johnson
and
direction was very good.
sorry about that. We overtalked each other there.
Yes. So, do you think Disney is not focusing so much attention on Star Wars? Like, remember, Star Wars is a huge money maker.
Mhm.
Like, all five Star Wars films have made huge amount of money for Disney.
I think they're
Like
scared
all
of Star
the
Wars right now. I think Disney's terrified of Star Wars right now. I really do, and I think they're terrified of Star Wars because of all the recoil they got from the last trilogy. There's a lot of people that hate that last trilogy. A lot of people. Like
but at the same time, lot of people like that. Or like at the same time, there was a nice amount of people who liked the Disney Star Wars films. Like everyone loved Mandalorian. Everyone loved Mandalorian. And Obi-Wan Kenobi, I don't know. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi was not such a good experience for a lot of people, but still, Obi-Wan Kenobi did made a nice amount of subscribers for Disney. I
but
think
don't
you're
forget.
right. Disney is terrified of Star Wars. I think you are absolutely right. But at the same time, I believe if they get a good like I think they should give some time to Star Wars. Like I believe, just get a good scriptwriter, just get a good director. Like just ask John Favreau to come back. Just ask, I don't know. Just get a nice scriptwriter. Just make on something original, straight out of the box, and blow the people mind away. That's what George Lucas did back in 1977. Just give 2 3 years to a specific film, and I'm sure if a new Star Wars film is coming out and it is universally loved by the globe, then it will be a $2 billion film. I'm betting my money. I'm betting entire money on this. If a new Star Wars film come out, it is straight out of the box with new characters, with a good director, a good script, and it is universally loved, then it will make $2 billion. I'm sure. It might make $1 billion alone in USA because Star Wars is immensely popular in the US and Europe.
You want to know what I think would save Star Wars? Honestly, what I think would bring Star Wars back to prominence is get Filoni to make a Star Wars film, like a true proper Star Wars film. I mean, there's rumor going around that I just read an article last week. I should have saved it, but it was before we talked on Twitter and before I knew where this conversation was going to go. Is that they're talking about doing another? They're talking about continuing the main storyline. My understanding is through another trilogy, which is like I don't understand why, but because they said they were going to move on to other things. But no matter what they do with the Star Wars film, Filoni should be behind the helm of at least one of them. If you give one good Star Wars film, Star Wars is back to prominence, and Disney's going to run with that like they're running with the MCU right now. All it takes is one terrible, I mean, absolutely horrendous MCU film, and you watch how fast things get changed with the MCU because Disney is notorious for doing that. I mean, Pixar had, I can't remember what it was. There was a bad Pixar movie, and then all of a sudden, Pixar was like huge then. And all of a sudden, there was one bad Pixar movie, and Pixar was like, nope, you're off to the side. You're ready to
I
step
think you're
back.
talking about the
We want
good
nothing to do
dinosaur.
with you. What's that? Oh, we're froze up again. Well, until he comes back, uh, I can't think of what the name of that film is from Pixar, but I remember there was a bad Pixar film and it scared the hell out of Disney. And all of a sudden, Pixar films got shelved. Like there were so many Pixar films that were supposed to be made, and then they all got shelved. They're all being made at
Like
a very, very
where
slower rate.
one of the best thing about Pixar to me is like Pixar movies are not just kids movie; they are kid friendly movie. There is a deep lesson in every Pixar movie for kid as well as their parents. Like I believe Pixar film can be enjoyed both by kids and adults. Like every Pixar movie has some deep lesson. Like Soul has a deep lesson. Inside Out has a deep lesson. Coco has a deep lesson. That is one of the best thing about Pixar, and I think Pixar people know their job very well. Like Lightyear was not such a bad movie. Like obviously it is not in the top.
Oh, we froze up again. His internet connection must be a little spotty right at the moment. But until he gets back, oh, there he is. Sorry, you cut off when you're making your point there. You froze up. We're having connection issues, I think.
Well, my point is Pixar. Like I was really upset when Lightyear was a flop. Like because Lightyear really underperformed the big time. It was made on a big budget of $200 million. Like I believe one point why Lightyear was a box office failure because I believe many people are now customized to watch Pixar film at homes. Like last week, Pixar movies were directly sent on Disney Plus, Turning Red, Luke, and Soul.
You want to know the main reason that's being given that the reason why Lightyear flopped so bad?
Why?
It's because Tim Allen, the original voice of Buzz Lightyear, he is a Trump
Hmm.
supporter. He's a Trump supporter, and Disney is like super liberal, which is
Okay.
Democratic Party for us here in America. And so they didn't ask for him to come back because they didn't want to deal with the Trump issue, and hence how divided our country is right now. That
Yes,
in
bro.
turn affected box office numbers like tremendously because Lightyear should have been a knockout, like easily should have been a knockout film for Pixar. Should have probably been one of their biggest, if not their biggest film, and it wasn't because they took, I think it was Chris Pratt was the voice for Lightyear, and
Yes, you
he has a little bit of baggage behind him too. I don't know his story, but he does. He's got something going on off to the side that a lot of people are not told about. So between those two issues, between the Chris Pratt issue and the Tim Allen issue, that's the reason why Lightyear was damaged so bad at the box office.
well. I want to ask you one thing.
Sure.
Do you think Disney is focusing only on Marvel too much? Do you think they should give the same amount of focus on Lucasfilm? Like, remember, we have got an upcoming Indiana Jones movie next year. We have so many we still are hearing from report that Ryan Johnson is going to direct a new Star Wars movie. Or do you think Disney should give back their main attention to their own IPs? What do you think?
I think it all stems back from what I had said about with Marvel right now is the one that's their cash cow. And Star Wars, they're scared of. Pixar, they're slowly warming back up to. They got burned by Pixar by that one film that for the life of me, I can't think of it, but it's like the worst reviewed Pixar film in the history of Pixar. And they got burned, and Pixar films just went, just they just stopped making a bunch of them in a year like they used to. I think because Disney is notorious for if they get burned, they recoil. They recoil hard. And
Yes.
take James Gunn for a prime example. There was tweets from 15, 20 years ago, like when Twitter first came out, and uh, he made some outlandish remarks on Twitter that are super old that somebody dug up just to dig up dirt on James Gunn. And what was Disney's immediate response? You're fired. Get out of here. We don't want you. So what did James Gunn do? He went straight to WB and he went and said, "Hey, I'm free. I made this property for Disney. Everybody loves this franchise. I can do the same for you." And guess what he made? The Suicide Squad, The Peacemaker. Both are very highly reviewed on the WB front. So he's got two big properties on two big companies. And Disney saw that as like, oh, well, if you apologize, which he already had at this point, so let's be clear on that. He had already apologized for this. And they're like, oh, please come back. Please come back. We don't want you working for them. They're so reactionary. Disney is so reactionary. It's not even funny. That's the biggest problem with Disney.
But my point is like okay, I agree with you that they are kind of scared of Star Wars. Like all the Star Wars success they had a huge success with all the five Star Wars film. Force Awakens made a 2 billion. Like Last Jedi made what 1.3 billion. Rise of Skywalker made $1 billion. Rogue One was a huge hit. They had a huge success with Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi. But why don't you try to make some I don't know why don't try to make a new IP of their own under Disney banner, under Disney picture? Why don't make a new IP like Pirates of the Caribbean, National Treasure? Why don't try to make their own original films? Like how many new Disney films we have? I think the only Disney film I can can Disney animation and Ryan last. I loved Ryan again. I loved Ryan.
Well, Disney, I mean, it's not an original content, but they are rebooting a franchise. They're rebooting the Aragon franchise. Aragon, we're getting a remake of that. So hopefully it gets done right this time. We get the whole series and just not the one film.
But my question is I agree with you. Marvel is a huge money maker.
Oh, we froze up again. But
this week,
there
they had huge. They had
you
huge
froze
success
up.
with
You froze up
Yes,
as
I
soon
know.
as you said that Marvel is a huge money maker.
Okay, Marvel is a huge money maker, but Lion King, Aladdin, Jungle Book, Cinderella, all their rebooks, all their remakes made a huge amount of money for Disney. I believe Lion King was a $1.6 billion film. Aladdin made $1 billion. Aladdin was a huge surprise for everyone. Jungle Book made a huge amount of money. With so much success, why they are giving Pinocchio and Peter Pan a Disney Plus release? Why? And let me tell you, Pinocchio is a more beloved character than Aladdin. Peter Pan is one of the most recognizable faces. I believe all the girls grew up while watching Peter Pan. Even all the boys. Like here's a my first ever Disney movie was Pinocchio and Peter Pan. These were my two first Disney movies. The third movie was Lion King. My father is a huge fan of Lion King. Even I'm a huge fan of Lion King.
Oh, the original Lion King is bar none top 3 Disney films.
Easily.
I mean, the top 3 Disney films are easily interchangeable, and I mean, Lion King is easily in that top 3.
Obviously. So, what do you think of my question? Why they are not getting a theatrical?
I think they are putting it too much in one basket. I really do. I mean, I never really thought about it before, but I mean, when you sit down and you talk about it, they are. They're putting it. I mean, give them one bad outing. Let's take Blade for example, because Blade's the one that scares me the most. Blade's the one I'm the most worried about. Say Blade bombs, flat out bombs. flops at the box office. I You watch the recoil that happens for the MCU. I mean, we've kind of already seen it. I think about it. The Inhumans. The Inhumans was terrible, absolutely horrendous series that nobody likes to talk about on ABC. Uh, the and it actually, if I remember correctly, the same time that the Inhumans, I mean, excuse my French here, shit the bed, it kicked Agents of Shield because they were doing the Inhuman storyline on Agents of Shield as well. It kicked the Agents of Shield out of the MCU continuity completely. I mean, they were still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out at that point. But when the Inhumans went and just totally just sank the ship, it killed Agents of Shield too. So we've seen it happen already. We've seen it change the MCU. It's happened. It just,
Like
I think
you
it's
know,
going to take something huge to make them decide that, oh, we need to focus elsewhere. I think the reason that they're not making the original content now is they're out of ideas. Hollywood in general is out of ideas.
well, I don't know. Like, just have a look at Top Gun Maverick. It made $1.3 billion. Like, Top Gun Maverick was a very good film. I love Top Gun Maverick. For me, it is my number one film of this year, 2022. But I never thought that it would make $1.3 billion. I never thought that Top Gun Maverick will be such a huge hit. Just have a look at Jurassic World Dominion. It is sitting at, I don't know, it is sitting somewhere near $950 million. And Jurassic World Dominion is a very bad film. Like, it's not a good film. It's not my top three favorite Jurassic film. My number one is obviously Jurassic Park. Number two is the new Jurassic World, the 2015, and the third one is Jurassic Park 2. Like, I believe Jurassic World is a like I think I can explain myself now. Jurassic World is a huge IP. Like, Jurassic World is an IP that is loved by many people. Like, it is an IP that is loved by all type of people. It is an IP that is loved by multiple generation of film fans. Like if you are going to do type of webinar or a seminar, and you will ask people their top 10 or top 15 favorite films, I believe 80 to 70% people will have the original Jurassic Park in their top 10 or 15. And I think that is the same case with Disney original films. Like, just talk about Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Popeye. Like, people love these films in principle. Like, I believe whenever there's a small kid in the house and it is Christmas or like some other festival, people will turn out to these old Disney films, and the kid watches it. The kid fell in love with these films. The parents watch these films. The parents again visit these magical moments, and they just remember how good the film is. They just remember how much they love these films in their childhood. And I think if a remake of any Disney film is going to hit the theaters, I think it will take a very good opening. And if the film is half good of the original, it will make a nice amount of money for Disney. And to your second question, is Hollywood out of ideas? I think you have a point because, like, remember, I do believe Hollywood is out of the idea, but at the same time, what Hollywood is making what people want to see. People want to see big, gigantic, commercial blockbuster films. I believe the time has gone. The people wanted to see small budget films. I don't think that is the time anymore we are living in. Stu- Studios are making the film not for the money. They are making the film for the story.
Oh, he's freezing up again.
Like, obviously, Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Peter Jackson, all these iconic directors, they criticize Marvel movie. Francis Ford Coppola said Marvel movies are despicable. But at the same time, do you think Irishman would have made a made Paramount a success? Do you think Irishman would have made a Paramount a success, a 3 hour long film? No, it would never have made money.
I think
Am I audible?
I think for Hollywood to earn I think for the general audience, and I'm speaking for myself here. The general audience, well, I guess I can't even really classify myself in the general audience category because I mean, you give me a comic book movie, I'm going to go. Like, Morbius, I'm going to tell you right now, Morbius sucked ass. Like, I hate Morbius so much. And mind you, that's a Sony property, but still, I didn't go to see it, but I have watched it now. But it's terrible. uh, and it's time that I'll never get back. But that said, I will go and I will watch a comic book movie and I'll watch it. But I still feel like you got to earn the 3 hour mark. Like Endgame was what 3.5 hours, I think. Pretty
No,
much.
no, no. Endgame was like 3 hours something. It was not 3.5.
Let's see real quick. I know it was pretty long, but either or, they earned it. They earned that through what 23 movies or 22 movies or
Yes, it
something
was the
like that.
third MCU film.
How long was
About 3 hours, 2 minutes.
Endgame? 3 hours, 2 minutes.
Yes,
All right.
I
Now, see,
just saw on Google.
I feel like that could have went 3.5 hours. I think they earned they earned to be able to do that. So, but I don't think you could do a 3 hour Iron Man. No way you could do a three
No,
hour.
no, you can't.
Iron Man is my favorite Marvel character of all time. Followed
My
very
favorite of all MCU film is my all-time favorite MCU character is Spider-Man. Like I think I should say my all-time favorite Marvel character is Spider-Man.
well. Let's see how long. How long was No Way Home? Or yeah, No Way Home.
Yes, No Way Home.
Yeah, that was pretty lengthy too.
Yes, it was very lengthy. Mhm.
So No
I,
Way
I
Home.
let's see.
That's less. It's 2.5 hours. So that's
Yes, you are right.
a normal movie.
Yeah, that's a normal movie.
Now, see, I feel like that could have been a 3.5 hour long movie. Again, because they earned it. And that they earned it
But
not only through the MCU, but they also earned it because you're all the way
how
back to
long is
Toby.
Civil War?
What's that?
You, how
Yeah. All right. So you're asking how long was what again?
Civil War? Captain America Civil War.
Don't remember.
2 hours
That
27 minutes.
was. I was gonna say. I feel like that was like a 2.5 hour movie.
Like that could have been also a 3 hour movie. Like many people refer Captain America Civil War as Avengers 2.5. Like it was a very special type of a film. Like for many people, it is their favorite MCU movie. I know many people and their favorite MCU movie is Civil War.
My favorite MCU movie, honestly, and he's my least favorite character of Marvel. It's Captain America. Captain America is my least favorite character of all the Marvel characters that I can think of off the top of my head. But it's got to be Winter Soldier. Captain America Winter Soldier is the benchmark. If you're talking about just solo outings, that's the benchmark.
Well,
But if you're talking about like overall, if you include all the ensemble films, it's Endgame. I mean, how can it not be Endgame? Because to me, yes, I know Infinity War and I know Endgame are two separate movies, but again, same thing with Rogue One and A New Hope. I watched them together. If I'm watching one, I'm watching both.
Well, I haven't like I'm not a huge superhero or comic book fan. Like I'm a fan of MCU. I'm a fan of DC, but I'm not a huge MCU or that's not really up my alley. I'm not a huge superhero type of a person. I'm more into Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, and that is fine. Films and all these things are all subjective, but like I really like, my all like if I have to do my top five favorite films, I will have Star Wars as my top five.
When he unfreezes, I'll have him re-say his top five. So
Like I will have
there
like
he
if
is. There he is. You froze up right as you started your top five list.
yes, if I will have my top five list, I will have Star Wars,
And it froze up again as he started saying it. He's not allowed to say his top five, apparently. All right. We will try this again when he unfreezes. Um, third time's a charm.
I'm
All right.
I'm really I'm
No,
really
you're
really
good.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Actually, no, actually, it has been raining heavily here in my place, and India is not as developed as USA, so that thing comes.
No,
So
you're
like
fine. I expected to
no,
have some hang-ups, but again, you started your top five and you got to Star Wars and then you froze.
I will have Lord of the Rings.
All right. So
I will
you
have Indiana Jones,
okay.
and I'm like I will have Lord of the Rings. I will have Indiana Jones. Like it is not top of my head, but my main focus is like out of these three films, two of them are Disney properties. Indiana Jones is under Disney, and so is Star Wars. And and for many people, Indiana Jones and Star Wars is among their like top five or top three favorite movies.
And we're freezing up again. All right. He's starting to have some bad internet. There you go. Uh, just, I'm noticing the internet starting to get a little bit more spotty there for you. It keeps freezing up more now for some reason.
Where was I?
Yeah. Every time he starts talking now, it's freezing up. That's a shame too, because we're just getting ready to wrap up too. Uh, but yeah, he gave his. He gave at least three of his top five that we got on the list. All right, he's back now. It seems like every time you start talking, it freezes up for some reason. I don't understand why it's doing that.
I'm really sorry. I cannot do anything. Like I said, it is raining heavily in my place, and because of that, there's an issue with Wi-Fi.
No, you're good. Like I said, I expected there to be issues. I did. I always go into these things expecting there to be something to happen, and unfortunately, this just happens to be the thing that's happening right now. Um, but so you gave a few of your top five. So I mean, Star Wars is on that list for me. I love me a good Star Wars film. I love me a good Star Wars series. Uh, Marvel is I'm much bigger Marvel fan than I am a DC fan, but DC is definitely on that list for me as well. Uh,
Like, do you
I'll tell you,
continue, or we should do the rest of the conversation tomorrow, if it is fine with you at the same time.
say that again.
Do you want to do the rest of the conversation tomorrow at the same time?
I actually have to work tomorrow.
Oh,
But
so
we're pretty
like,
close. We're pretty close.
what is, sorry?
So we're pretty close to wrapping up, anyways. Um, we're like in our final 5 or 10 minutes. But I mean, we have to cut it a little shorter due to internet issues. That's fine too. We average between 45 to an hour. At least I try to. But
It is 50.
what's that?
So nothing.
All right. Uh, but yeah, I'm so glad that you brought this topic up because it's a great topic to talk about, and we can do follow up videos on this as well.
Yes,
So because we just not even scraped the tip of the iceberg on this. There's so much more that can be said about it. But yeah, we'll keep in contact.
yes,
Because I'm always looking for new ideas from new people. So, and
it was,
this idea, as soon as my brain going, it's a perfect idea. So, but yeah,
well, I would like to thank you I would like to thank you for giving me this golden opportunity to have a debate with you on this topic. Like, it was a very important topic for movie industry in general. Thank you so much.
yeah, not a problem. And this will go up tomorrow night. It'll be 7 o'clock my time, so it'll probably be early morning your time on Wednesday that this will actually go up because this we're
Yes, it's no issue.
so. But but yeah, thanks for the idea. Keep in contact. If you have any more ideas, shoot them at me. And I mean, absolutely, we'll get you back on here because I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and like I said, we haven't even touched the beginning of this. This could go so much longer if we really wanted to, and maybe next time we can get more people involved, and this can go a lot longer. What was that?
Hello? I just back traffic near my house.
All right. So, for anybody that's listening to this audio, apologies.
It's fine, it is fine.
I just got blasted too. So, with that, we'll call it quits here for today. Like I said, we definitely have you back. If you have any more ideas, shoot them at me, and we'll definitely run with them. But definitely thank you for the idea because I personally never would have even thought about it because I'm so ingrained into everything. I don't think like on the peripheral because I'm actually in it. So to get somebody like you that's on the outside that's part of the general audience, it definitely gives you a different perspective to look at things. Because sometimes if you're in the middle of it, you don't see anything else.
You are
So,
right.
but yeah, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your night, and like I said, just keep in contact, and we'll do this again. Maybe next time we can
I
make.
just want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to have a debate with you. I barely get someone whom I can have a debate on movies. I barely get someone. It was so lucky to have someone like you who is so open minded and who has given me this opportunity. Why you are thanking me? I should thank you for giving me this opportunity. You are the first one I ever got to have a proper debate.
Yeah, and we'll try to get more people on. I have a few people within my network of people that I'll throw this topic out to them as well, and maybe we can collaborate and get like 4 or 5 people in on this next
That
because
will be more interesting.
we haven't even touched the beginning of this yet. There's so
Yes,
much more to talk about. So many more different angles. So
you are right.
But yeah, have a good rest of your night. Get some rest, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Good night.
Yep. See you later. All right. So that was Varun from India. Uh, Again, great conversation with him. Apologies for the technical issues. It is what it is. Nothing we can do about it. We tend to have these things happen in this realm, so we just roll with the punches. Um, but yeah, and that's not for him. What I just said to him about if you have an idea, shoot it at me. Anybody, if you have an idea for a topic, by all means, hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on any social media platform. All you gotta do is look for Hotel Nerd, and you'll find me. Um, Hell, comment something in a video that you see me in on somebody else's channel, and throw an idea out there. And I mean, it'll get back to me through notifications, and we'll make it happen. And so yeah, that was this is just the beginning of this conversation. It's a great topic, and we just hit the beginning of this. Uh, I'm definitely shooting this out to other people that I've collaborated with in the past, and we will see if we make more of this because this is a fascinating topic that I've never even honestly thought about. So, because I'm so far entrenched in the MCU that I've just never thought about it before. Um, so yeah, if you have a topic you think would be relevant or interesting to talk about, or both, by all means, shoot them at me. I'm open to everything. So, uh, if it strikes a fancy and it strikes a chord with me, then we'll run with it and we'll do it. Uh, because it just helps make this channel better, and it makes it to where you're interacting with it as well. Like, I want you to interact with me, and I want to be able to interact with you. So, have a good night. Have a good day. Stay cool. Uh, and final note for everybody that's dealing with the flooding right now in Kentucky, everybody is dealing with the flooding right now out in the western deserts. If you have either Las Vegas or eastern Kentucky, you should look. Um, Definitely look at that video. It's nuts what they're dealing with, and as far as I know, the Kentucky situation is still ongoing. They keep getting hit with rain every day. Um, and a really good person to, if you want to help with the Kentucky relief effort, especially the Kentucky relief effort, go to Ryan Hall Y'all's YouTube page. That's Ryan Hall Y'all. Uh, he is a YouTube meteorologist. He's very good at what he does. He keeps a lot of people safe and he helps a lot of people. He has this fund called the Y'all Fund. And they're raising crazy amounts of money right now. And they're doing crazy amount of relief work right now. So as well, and I will definitely try to help get the word out on that because they need help. Kentucky's been hit by two major disasters in less than a year. Western Kentucky had the major tornado outbreak in December, right around Christmas. And now Eastern Kentucky's dealing with the flooding. And unfortunately, they keep getting hit with more rain, which makes it even worse. But yeah, I could ramble on about that for another 45 minutes, and I'm not going to. But have a good night. Stay safe. Stay cool. And try to stay dry. And if you can, help your fellow neighbor, especially when you're dealing with disasters like what they're dealing with right now. We'll catch you on the next episode of Let's Talk. I don't know when it'll be recorded next. I'm trying to get things onto a regular schedule to where things come out on a weekly basis for every episode. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying. So have a good night, and we'll catch you on the next one.